to these rapid fire questions though. So, favorite basketball player all time. You can choose male, female. You can give me one of both if you want to. But favorite basketball player of all time.
Male, Kobe Bean Bryant, without a doubt. Female, I'll probably go with either Lady Mamba Diana Taurasi or Elena Delle Donne. They're two of my favorites.
Hey, nah, Delle Donne is like that. Hey,
bro, she's like a Dirk mix. Who did I say she was mixed? She was like a Dirk mix with somebody else. I forgot who I was with that. A bucket.
A bucket. Well, man, but let's talk about Bean, man. I mean, of course, tragically, what happened earlier this year, like, that being your favorite player of all time. What did he mean to you in a basketball sense and, just in the sense of like, the career he had after basketball? And then how did, his untimely death affect you? Of course, like, how did you kind of like respond to it, or what did you take away from it?
Well, I know just his killer mentality that's the first thing that attracted me to him. Is just like the confidence, the swagger that he, walked with, like just his presence naturally on the court. And even as he got older, when people was like, "Oh, he's washed," the how much his presence is demanded from everybody else. Like that's still Being like you still got to guard Being. That his tenacity, his work ethic is crazy. And I'm just like, this man out here with broken fingers, broken body parts, and he's still finding a way to get in the gym. And that actually molded my mind. I remember I was text my coach, "Yo, can I get in the gym? It's 11 o'clock at night. I know you got a family. I'll lock it up." Just seeing that inspired me. And I'll never forget. I was on my way to the training room to get treatment. We just had a game. I'm like, yeah, we need to go take care of our bodies. And they was like, "You hear about Kobe?" I said, "Man, you lying." And I said, "I'm not believing nothing until Sports Center says it. When Sports Center says it, I believe it." And boy, like my heart just like our whole team was just like, bro, like even now I still feel like this cannot be real. Like this can't be it. But like off the court, like just how much he respect the women's game and his impact with like collegiate players and even in the WNBA, just like this man recognized the game that they have. And there's so much slander to the women's game. Like it's not the same. Like if we're being honest, it's actually harder because everybody can't be above the rim. Everyone's not as athletic. So it takes a little more like thinking power. But for him to recognize that and support that meant a lot. It means like the game is going in the right way.
Yeah, and I mean that's wild. Now I usually say these are rapid fire, but they always start a conversation anyway. Well, I think one of the of course, like the entire situation is sad, but I think really one of the saddest kind of sub stories of that is I think the more time passes for me, I realize more and more just what Gigi was supposed to be, and to understand that she won't be able to do what I feel like she was supposed to do for women's basketball. Like Gigi already had a following, of course, from being Kobe's daughter, but Gigi was cold. And so
Gigi put in that work.
And so like as she got older and as she started to hone that game going through high school and college, like I can only imagine what that would have meant for women's sports. And I hate that it has to be like that, but the way she would have really made people pay attention. Like she was one of those talents. She's one of those people. And of course, with the association of Kobe, that would have played a role, but it would have been her because she put the work in. And I feel like that's really like we got robbed regardless, but I really feel like we got robbed of the moment I feel like she was going to create, as she, moved forward in her career. But yeah, I mean, that's really sad. I mean, it's like you said, it's still hard to wrap your head around and believe it because it's just like how does that happen? Like it doesn't make sense. You can't logically, wrap your head around that. So that's always tough. But okay, next question. What is your favorite sports movie?
White Man Can't Jump.
Okay. I ain't got that one yet. So what about that movie? I mean, that's a great movie. Love that movie.
Because I think the part that I like about it is that, like, Billy Hoyle got game, man. Like they tried to dog on Billy. But it's just like I like seeing the style of play, the way they play. Like they were able, if you watch how they're playing, it's like it's not like street ball is today. how so much of it is one-on-one. They would still have the essence of one-on-one, but they still work together. Like the passes, they were throwing no look behind the back passes. They're like passes that ain't finna happen yet. And just to see how doesn't matter where you from, hooping is still hooping. And I think that movie in the NBA showed you there's people from all over the world who get to the NBA, but the game is still the same. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's beautiful. It's a good respect to the game. So that's my favorite sports movie.
That's real. Okay. So NBA one for you. Top five, your top five or favorite five NBA players under 25.
Okay. Love Luka. Luka's one.
Yeah, Luka.
Man, this is tough. You got me. Luka. I like Trae Young. Tyler Hero. He's nice. He gets me.
You know, he from my city, so Tyler got he putting us on the map.
Then him, Ja Morant, just because he's from the OVC and I got to watch him. And I'd probably say Zion, just because he's like the next Diesel. You know, you don't get to see many players that look like that and play like that. Yeah. So I'd probably say those are my top five. I would say Trae Young, but he got to play a little more deep for me to pick him on my top five.
Nah, that's fair. That's hella real. I mean, the thing is, I think the league is at a place now where so many of its future stars, like that class of, the class of NBA players that are under 25, but that are like on their way. Like, you name, relatively like all people who are like rookies or 2 or 3 year players. We ain't even talk about like Tatum, Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Like, it's still some killers that's like on their way, you know what I'm saying? But it's so many players.
They hoop better than like that 25, so I don't add that.
Right. No, that's real.
They with the big dogs. They with the big dogs.
No, for real though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tatum has arrived. I really wish Booker was on a different team, just how good he is, how talented he is could be seen more. I mean, I
think they'll build around him. I think they're starting to realize that he's the truth, and they'll build around him.
They got some Phoenix got some nice pieces. Like they just gotta find the right formula. I mean, but Aiden is gonna be a problem. Oubre is becoming something vicious, so they'll be all right. I think they turn around, like you said.
They some all-stars. They don't get thrown in with other people that's under 25. They with the grown. It's like they get to say what the grown folks say now, regardless of their age. So when we're talking about like when I'm making my teams, that would be considered in that roster.
Okay, that's fair. That's real. Okay. So last rapid fire question. Not personally for you, but or not like your personal moments, but what is your favorite sports moment that you witnessed or that you saw?
That I witnessed and that I saw. It's a good one. That's a good one. It can't be me personally, you said?
Not that. If you can say that separately, but I want to know like whether it was a game, whether it was like a moment in the game, whether it was just some player getting an accomplishment. Like, what was the biggest or your favorite sport?
So I would say it was this past year. They say it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Right.
And so we had played this team. It's the conference tournament, first game. We're like the 3 seed. And we beaten this team by double digits twice. So we were just like, they're going to come for us. But, it just wasn't like our game. And we were down. We had made a good defensive play, scored, but we're still down. So we needed, a 3 to win it or like a bucket to tie. And so obviously I'm the 3-point threat. We tried something I wasn't open. Well, the pass wasn't there on time. So I was like, okay, cool. So our point guard, she gets it. She had an ISO moment. She did her move, step back 3. She hits it, like just at the buzzer. We made like Sports Center like number 1. And that right there. And we ended up beating the other 2 teams by double digits and winning the conference tournament. So like that game right there, and I was like right there by the rim. I'm watching it come through the net. I'm like, wow, we done had one of those moments where it's just like game winner. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's probably I've never been associated, been part of something that was like that crazy. So like, there's no time left. There's no go back, draw it up like this. Like that is crazy. That's probably the moment that I've witnessed, and yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, no, that got to be one of the craziest feelings, seeing a game winner. I mean, like, or being in the game and like you said, like watching. I can't imagine being a person. Like, I ain't never had no game winner or nothing like that. Not with no clock or nothing like that. But, no, I can only imagine that. It's probably an amazing feeling.